Hi YouTube, I'm Nick McCarthy. I got top 4 at a Rarity Collection case tournament playing Supreme King Magicians, as people know, Pendulum. I played a bunch of different things. I played Branded, I played Scareclaw, I played Tier Element, I played Unchained, uh, Tri-Brigade Sprite, a bunch of different stuff, but we all know it's a diverse format. But we'll get into the profile real quick, just show how I go about this deck. I go about it a lot different than a lot of builds do. And a quick shout out to Games of Concord. That's my local. Everyone there is so supportive, and it's a great testing ground. So yeah, let's get into the profile. So I'm just going to show the Pendulum cards first, all in order. So we have Double Iris, 3 of them, 3 Wisdom Eye, 2 Harmonizing, 1 Oath Dragon, 3 Joker, 1 Pendulum Sorcerer, 3 of the Gate Magician, Supreme King, 3 Supreme King Dragon Dark Worm, 1 Light Worm, 1 Gate 0, 1 Astrograph. So to go into each one, Double Iris. Once per turn, I can target a Dark Spellcaster, destroy this card, and the damage it does to a monster is doubled. When it's destroyed, you can add a Pendulum Graph from deck to hand. The Pendulum Graphs help with consistency, defense, disruption. They help with a lot of different things. So Double Iris also being your high scale of the deck at the 8. It helps for your Pendulum Summons, rank 4s, all of that. Wisdom Eye, for those that have played in the past, they know what Wisdom Eye does. Wisdom Eye destroys itself when it's in scale if you have another Magician or Performer Pal on the other scale, and it brings out a different Magician. It brings out Double Iris, Oath Dragon, or even the new Supreme King Gate. That way you have your missing scale that you need. Wisdom Eye and Double Iris used to be on the ban list, so we know how good they can be, especially those that have played in past formats. Harmonizing Magician, it special summons itself from the deck when it's Pendulum summoned, and it special summons a monster from the deck. It's a combo piece, along with Oath Dragon. Nowadays, a lot of the times you're just Pendulum summoning, Harmonizing, and summoning Oath Dragon out from the deck to make Varone. Sometimes Oath Dragon, though, can be used as a scale to add back a Magician to keep your hand size well for going second, going third. So that's mainly the Magicians until we get onto Supreme King Gate. But Joker, Honorary Magician, it searches your Magicians, searches Performer Pals. When normal summoned, it's your 1 of your 2 normal summons of the deck. Pendulum Sorcerer, I only play 1 because I want to send it to the grave off of Time Star or Foolish, which I'll show a combo in a bit. But it destroys a card in your Pendulum scale, most likely Double Iris, and searches for a Performer Pal card. So most of the time you're popping Double Iris, searching Joker, Double Iris gets you your Pendulum Graph. Supreme King Gate Magician, I'm going to talk about last. That's the new card. And then Dark Worm. When Dark Worm is sent to the grave, Dark Worm special summons itself for free in the grave. And then on normal special summon, you can add a Supreme King Gate card from deck to hand. You can add the new Magician. You can add Gate 0. Most of the time we're adding the Magician now, which makes this card a lot better. Now we have Light Worm. I only play 1. It's a disruption card, as I like to use it. When it's normal or special summon, you can add a Supreme King Gate or Dragon from extra deck to hand, and immediately after the effect resolves, Synchro or XYZ summon a Supreme King Dragon from your extra deck. It kind of works like a Tri-Brigade Revolt. It specials out the Synchro, which the Synchro is a Raigeki for those that know, but I'll go into the Synchro and the combo of what it does. Supreme King Gate 0, it's a 0 scale. You send it off Supreme King Gate Magician to put into the scale. It's a level 7, which helps your combos as well. And it's all around great card. For those that have used Dark Worm in the past, they know you have to add Gate 0. And then Astrograph is the last one. We only have it at 1, but I'd play it at 3 if we had it at 3. If a card is destroyed, you special summon it, and you search that destroyed card. So it's consistent, it's level 7, works with the rest of these. But to remove all these, we're going to lastly go into the Supreme King Gate Magician, talk about this card a little bit. This card is a custom card. This card is crazy. This card is in Agov. It is a level 7, which helps you go into rank 7s to make Vortex. It's a scale 1, which is a low scale that the Magician deck needs. It has Supreme King Gate in its name, and it has Magician in its name. It works with both archetypes, and it just brings them both together. The scale effect is when you have it in scale, it destroys itself, send it extra deck, and then place Gate 0. So that it's in the extra deck, so you can Pendulum summon it out. The next part is the monster effect. You can reveal it if you have a Supreme King gate in your Pendulum zone. Cannot be this, can only be gate, another gate. Gates are even gate infinity if you play it. You special summon itself by sending a XYZ dragon, a Pendulum dragon, Fusion dragon, etc. Most time we're sending this from the extra deck, the XYZ dragon, but you can even send Double Iris, because Double Iris is considered a Pendulum dragon. You can send Purple Poison as well if you play that. I probably should have played it looking back, but anyway, that's just for you to know. On special summon, it searches any card with Zark name in it, but most of the time we're searching this. If you play that new Pendulum evolution, it can search that as well. It can even search those traps, the new ones that special summon Zark. And they're hard ones for turns, but you can use all three in a turn. So this card is crazy. This card is the reason why the deck is playable again. So that's it for all the Pendulum cards. Next, again, with Supreme King Gate Magician, it helps with consistency and open deck space. So now you have about 6 to 9 slots for non-engine. So my choice for this tournament was 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, 1 Call by the Grave, and I'm going to add these in here too, the 2 Desires. I decided in my theory that this deck loses really hard to Droll. However, if you have the Droll, you have it. I don't want to play around it with something like Talents. I decided to tech the Call by the Grave for the Droll. If I have it. If not, I'd rather just have maximum consistency, and Desires is kind of what helps me bait or get through Ash. It helps me just fully combo off if I need to, and when I need to, or OTK however I need to. I don't care if I banish the Pendulum Graphs. I can still play, and I'd rather just have maximum consistency for this deck. And then Imperm and Ash, I don't really need to explain. They're just standard hand traps that most of the meta's been playing and works against most of the meta. Finally, we're going to go into spells. These more consistency, 3 Wings of Light. Wings of Light, hard once per turn during the main phase only, so main phase 1. Add a Supreme King Dragon or Supreme King Gate from deck to hand. It has a second effect where you can special it if you control Zark, but we don't play it in this build. 3 Dragon Shrine, 1 Foolish. I want to maximize consistency on the Dragon Shrine. The main strong combo is Dragon Shrine Joker, so you want to have 3 of each. So if I open 2, I open 2, but I would rather have the consistency. And I also do play the Foolish along with it, so I do have 4 copies of Send Dark Form, but Foolish does work as well if you want to combo off by, for example, sending Pendulum Sorcerer. You can special it back with the new Link 3 that we have in Agoff as well. And the last 2, we have the Star Pendulum Graph, Time Pendulum Graph. Time Pendulum Graph, you can target a Magician in scale, target a card your opponent controls, destroying both. That helps trigger things like Double Iris. You can search the star if you don't have it, and then sometimes, especially in the old builds in like 2018, if you have like a Time Star, you can protect your Magician, and then Time Pendulum Graph second effect activates where you can send any card. So you just send a card, and you just basically pop 2. Star Pendulum Graph, the Magician leaves the Pendulum Zone or Monster Zone, you can add a Magician from deck to hand. So it's just a lot more adding. So that's it for the main deck. It's 40 cards. Looking back at it, if I wanted to change anything, I think I would find a way to fit Purple Poison and maybe even Destrudo, since I do play the many Dragon Shrines. But that's something I'll look into more. Extra deck. Links, 1 IP, 1 SP. 2 Beyond the Pendulum, and 1 Exceed the Pendulum. I don't play Apollousa. I don't think Apollousa is good. Maybe I'm crazy, but I would rather be ending on Exceed the Pendulum. It does way more. It has a quick effect where I can special a Pendulum from hand or grave, anything between, as long as I have 2 scales. So most of the time I have 0, 8 Pendulum. I can special summon anything, and it's part of the combo, which I'll show after this. Beyond the Pendulum, I'd play 2 because the second one does come up turn 3 or when I need to OTK. The pop effect was very underrated, especially during the tournaments. The Beyond the Pendulum, I think, combined with Exceed the Pendulum, does more than what having 1 Electromite does. So I think learning to build this deck around Electromite has been a challenge and a blessing for this deck. SP, I'm not going to really explain much there. We should know what this card does now, and same goes with IP, it's part of the combo. XCs, we have Time Star, Baguska Dweller for 4s. They all came up, they're all great. Baguska, I feel like, overperformed, and Time Star is great for the Magician build. That's for the 4s. 7 Odd Eyes Absolute and the Vortex for the combo. And then I play 2 of these, the XYZ Dragon. It's to send off the Spring King Gate. I play 2 so that way I have a second one to send off in case I don't have a double Iris in the extra deck. And you can even make it with as a rank 7 and pop 2 cards that are under 3,000 attack. So it does a lot. It has 3,000 attack as well. I think in the future I still will continue to play 2 of these, and maybe even see if there's like a card I can overlay for it or something like that. But this card with Overform is great. And then the last XC is Typhon. This is probably the weakest card of my deck. Maybe I'm just not playing it right, but it just, either it's win more or I'm already losing the game still, whether I play it or not. It just might not synergize well with this deck, and I think some people have had mixed feelings about it anyway, and I think I'm one of them as well. The card's a little weird. Maybe it's just not the right time to be using the card, but I probably will cut it, depending on how things go. Last 2 cards is Barone and the Clearwing. Barone's for negate, pops double Iris on turn 1, which helps. And the Dragon Clearwing, this was the best card, best choice. I'm so happy I added it. It's for the combo, which I'll show basically I'll show it right now. So you have Exceed the Pendulum out usually on your end board. And sometimes you can have things like, you'll have like a Vortex or a Time Star or an IP or something. And a lot of the times you have either this set, which you will use the search if you don't already have it in hand, your Lightworm. Oh, also you want to end the board with some type of dark. It could be double Iris, it could be a Joker, it could be anything as long as it's a dark attribute. So you leave that on the field, and you most likely want to have, and you probably will have either like Darkworm or the Gate Magician on your extra deck face up. So what you do is, and then you probably have 2 scales, 0 or 8, as long as you have the scales up as well. Use Exceed the Pendulum's effect, special this from hand. This will add back one of the 2 to your hand, and then immediately after Synchro Summon. So you Synchro Summon for the Clearwing, and then you Raigeki your opponent's field on their turn. It's like that extra little like oomph to the deck that helps it do its thing and ensure a win rather than going full Apollousa massive negate combo. It can play around, it doesn't really play around things like Dark Ruler, Forbidden Droplet, but it was more of a surprise factor that a lot of people weren't expecting, so that's what I really liked about it. Will I continue on with it? Maybe. I might play 2 Exceeds, but we'll see from there. We'll do the side deck really quick. I had mixed feelings about it, and of course it depends on where you're playing. But 3 Nibiru, 1 Feather Duster, 2 Storm, 3 Twin Twister, 3 Evenly, 3 Dimensional Barrier. Dimensional Barrier was probably the best extra deck side deck card for me. Maybe because, as I said, I played a lot of branded Tier Element, and it came up a lot. And it kind of ensures that going first board, like you will win as long as you have your combo with the Dimensional Barrier. Lightning Storm was great as well for going second. Evenly was really bad. I'm sure it was a bad choice on my part in general because of dodging cards like IP. It just didn't feel very good after using it. Maybe I didn't play a lot of combo, but it just it was not good. I'm considering not citing it. Harpies I didn't see. And Twin Twister, actually we'll talk about it in a second. Nibiru was kind of the same as Evenly. I didn't really see it much, but I'd rather, maybe just with my playstyle, I'd rather see Droll. So I should have probably cited Droll or Bestials. I think Bestials would be great in this deck. Bestials would help you link into things like Exceed and Beyond. Beyond doesn't require 2 Pendulum monsters. It only requires 1 of them. Same with Exceed. So you can go like Bestial and a Pendulum into them. And then the last one, Twin Twister. I actually like this card because this card is, even though it might not be most optimal, if you pair it with the Darkworm, and even if some hands, like, I think I had one hand, it was Darkworm, Joker, Twister, you can't normal summon both of them. So you Twister, send Darkworm specials, and then you also have your normal with Joker. So you get maximum value out of both of them. And you get to pop 2. You can even pop your own cards, because this is practically MST. You can hit your own double Iris. I think it's the most versatile
for a deck that plays Dark Worm. So that's how I feel about that. But pretty much that's the deck. I hope you guys like it. It's a 2-card combo deck now, so you can play hand traps, you can play a lot of different things, but yeah, you can just go off 2 cards. It's Joker or the Gate Magician, anything. So yeah, I hope you guys like the profile. Let me know ideas in the comments or anything like that, and yeah, hope to continue to do well with this deck. So thank you.